Sports coverage of the CIF Central Section Division II Volleyball Finals. Coming to you live from Visalia, California, I'm Thomas Conroy along with John Henry Winter Nolte on your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com. Tonight's matchup features the Lemoore Tigers squaring off against the El Diamante Miners for the Division II crown. Coming into tonight's action, the Lemoore Tigers have an overall record of 24-5, while the home team, El Diamante Miners, have a record of 25-3. Should be an exciting matchup, as we noted at the top. 1 and 2 seeds meeting here, so they were expected to be here. Let me bring in my partner, John Henry Nolte. John Henry, this place is packed of fans, raring to go. Give me your overall impressions before we start this match.
I mean, you look at the numbers, you look at what's going on in this game this evening, and you've got, this is the matchup that you want. You got the number 1 versus the number 2. We're playing in, like you said, a packed house, and you're going to get to see a good view. They're going to be loud tonight. These two teams have already met twice this year. One team took one victory, and the other one took the other. This is the rubber match. This is for all the marbles, and we're going to have quite a game ahead of us tonight, Thomas.
Now, I talked to the Tigers head coach, Rachel Taylor, before the match, John Henry, and she said her team at the beginning of the season was just too psyched, as she put it. We would have a World Series celebration after our first point and then tuck her out at the end of the night. She said, well, we developed that consistency, that maintaining our tempo the entire matchup, and that's what this team has learned. And she feels both teams are evenly matched. It's going to come down who has the most unforced errors, and they're going to be the loser, unfortunately, of this final.
I totally agree with you, and if this is going to be any indication of what we're going to see tonight, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of unforced errors. These two teams have done exactly what they need to do to be here tonight, winning 3 straight games when it mattered through this tournament. And this is, like I said before, this one's for all the marbles. And the mistakes are going to be few and far between. It's just going to be, like you said, Thomas, who can capitalize on those mistakes?
Yeah, as both teams now give the customary handshakes before the start of this Division II final. You can see both teams, not a whole lot of pleasantries between those two, and why should it when you're going for a divisional crown?
Right. I mean, this one, you might have friends on the other team, you might not, but when it comes time to start this game, that first whistle blows, all bets are out the door. Play a good, hard match during the games tonight, and then when the game's over, you can go back to being friends.
Yeah, for the next 2.5 hours or so, I don't like you.
Exactly, and that's okay, you know?
Both teams now getting ready as the Lemoore Tigers come in their all-black uniforms with purple numerals with the white outing, and the El Diamante Miners wear their multicolored tops, green sides with a blue front and back, white numbers, and blue shorts. And it looks like they have won the service here to start off game 1. Remember, we're best 3 out of 5. First 4 games are determined by the winner must get to 25 and also win by 2. And if we need a 5th game, it goes to 15. Again, you have to win by 2. So you can hear the crowd in our background. The Miners are getting ready, and their fans cannot wait to get this one going. Serving is Kirsty Dunkel. She's getting ready. And she serves it right over the middle. We're on her way. Nice shot there by the Miners. Going back over now. Now a long shot, and it kept in. Nicely done by the Tigers as they get the first point in this Division II matchup.
And it's going to be interesting how these first couple of points play out, Thomas. I mean, they're kind of feeling each other out. Like you said, you win 1 point, you don't want to get excited and pretend like you won the whole thing. So this will be very interesting, kind of set the tone for the rest of the game.
Jessica Taylor for the Tigers sends it over the service nicely. Back over the net now. Tigers trying to set up for a kill shot, and it's right in the front and went off of number 18, Caitlin Anderson, the junior. So quickly, Lemoore is up 2-0 on the home team. Taylor with her service in the middle of the court. Picked up by the Miners front line, sent to the back line. Over now Lemoore trying to send it over between 2 front line defenders. Picked up nicely now. Must get it over the net, and they do, El Diamante. And shot in the middle, and again, timely shot for another point by Lemoore, one of their front players. Number 4 right there, Jessica McCann. She's one of the top aces on their squad.
And that was nothing special there. That wasn't high-flying, hard-hitting action. That was just a tip where the other team was not, and that's just smart volleyball there.
Shot over after the service now by the Miners. Coming over now, over the net. Loose ball, 50-50, and again, put it over nicely there by Jamie Roble, number 2, Lauren Torres, the captain, number 2 for the Miners as they regain service. Here comes the serve, back line, and it's too long. Nicely played there by Lemoore as they lead it now 4-1 here early in game 1.
And if I didn't know any better, I mean, this sounds like we're in the Staples Arena on Game 7 of the NBA Finals. This is unbelievable. The fans, the enthusiasm on both sides of the court, and not to mention the play out there. It's fun to watch.
Both teams trading volleys now as Lemoore trying to get it over, and it's too wide to the side, and it goes out. Turnover on and service goes back to the number 1 seed Miners.
And I'm trying to figure this out. Which team is the better team? I mean, they're 1-2 coming into the tournament. They split games, and right now it's just so back and forth. You can almost throw those numbers and the records out the door as we get going here.
So Captain Torres put a ball right on the 50-50 on the net, back over to Lemoore's side for the point. So quickly now it's a 1-point lead for the Tigers as the Miners serve. Trying to set up the front line now is Lemoore. And it goes nicely. Shot up in the air, off balance by Schaefer. Nobody can send it over the net, so the service and the point will go back to Lemoore. You talk about 2 evenly matched teams. Their league records, respectively, we'll get that in after the service. As the Tigers get over the net, here comes a kill for Schaefer. Back line, nice dig. Set up now to the front, and shot on the net by the Tigers. Service and point will go back to El Diamante. Getting back to the league play, John Henry.
Right.
Lemoore, 10-1 in their league. El Diamante, 11-1 on the year. So they're very easily matched teams. As here comes the service now, back to the back line. Miners keep it going. They got to get over the net. They do. Nicely blocked. Picked up by Schaefer, trying to kill it to the back, off of the shoulder of Kristen Drew for the point. And El Diamante will have another serve as they are now even with the Tigers at 5 here in game 1.
And Schaefer doing such a great job. You know, a lot of players out there will get a little disappointed in themselves. You get one shot block. She comes right back and slams that one home for the point.
Sending it over the net now is Lemoore. Schaefer again kills cross court. Nicely dug out there by the Tigers. Back line, a little miscommunications. They save it. Schaefer again to the back line, and again another kill for Rachel Schaefer, the junior. She's doing a nice job here in the early going.
And again, she gets her first kill, either kind of blocked and then dug out, and she comes right back with a second one saying, all right, well, stop this one then.
Service to the back line. Saved there by the Tigers. Now they try to get it over the net. They do in 3. Here comes the setup for Schaefer again. Back line dug out by Lemoore. Towards the front, blocked at the net, and nicely in for the point is Summer Warford as she gets the point, and it's now 7-5 El Diamante here on a nice service run here by number 11, Bianca Patone. Off the service now, there goes Lemoore, setting it on the back line, just keeping it in. Nice shot there by number 4, Jessica McCann for the point, and more importantly, they get the service back, does Lemoore. Off the serve now. Stepped in nicely on the 50-50 ball. Jessica Taylor puts it in for the point. There's nobody on the front line for the Miners could return it over the net.
And talk about a fast-paced game here, Thomas. There's not even a chance to breathe. This is crazy.
That serve hits the side pole there, that hanging off of the net there for missed serve as they lose service now. Does the Tigers? Back to the Miners, and here they go off the serve. Got to get it over in 3, and Lemoore cannot as they hit it right on the net. A little bit of a missed shot there by number 4, Jessica McCann.
And really, I mean, if we can even call that an unforced error. That was just mental mistake, kind of losing a little bit of focus there as they were just trying to get the ball over in 3 on the free ball.
Off that serve, ball goes backwards. Nice save there by the Tigers to get it over the net. Here comes the setup for number 8. Warford cannot as she puts it on the net. Service and the point will go back to the Tigers. 9-8, the home team leads it here in game 1. Tigers serve towards the front side area. Picked up there, a nice shot there by Roble for El Diamante. She gets it again. Schaefer, now gets a kill. Dug out there by Lemoore as they send it over the net. There goes a nice shot in the middle of the court. Nobody was there for the Tigers. Point goes to El Diamante.
And Madison Ekezian, who's been so solid on her sets today, that one, everyone on the other side of the court, every one of the Tigers was waiting to see where that was going to be set to. Instead, it lands on their side of the court. Great smart play by number 4, Ekezian.
Both teams making nice saves here as they trade volleys. Here comes the setup, and over the net. Nicely done there by Caitlin Anderson as she gets in a little slow shot over 2 front-line players for Lemoore for the point. They now lead by 3, 11-8 here in game 1 with Rebecca Schaefer serving. Rachel Schaefer.
El Diamante team has so many weapons. It's going to be tough to stop today.
Schaefer gets it over the net now. Loose ball, 50-50, saved by the Tigers. There goes a shot, goes right into the net. Little soft shot there by Sullivan. Didn't get a full wind-up. It looked like the ball kind of tricked her as she was trying to play it. And it hits right off the net for the point. Schaefer with the serve. Trying to get it over. Lemoore cannot get it over the net. Nice shot there by Schaefer, as that's an ace, technically. Now they lead at 13-8 over the Tigers here in game 1.
Lemoore's got to be careful of not letting this one slip away with his home team advantage.
Schaefer serve. Played nicely by the back line. Gets it over the net. Middle of the court now, trying to set up. And off-balance shot there, flat-footed by Roble for the... No, she didn't get it, went into the net. So service goes back to Lemoore Tigers. Shot back line, nice save there by Pantone. Trying to get it to the front, gets it over the net instead. Tigers trying to make a play. Shot blocked by the front line, saved in the middle of the court. Trying to set up. Anderson, she gets it over and right in front of number 8. Trying to make a diving attempt. Captain Maggie Billingsley, she had a gallant effort, but just could not come up with the shot or the save of the ball.
And it looks like the difference right now in this matchup. I mean, you look player for player, the Miners have just a few extra inches in that front line, and that's given them the big advantage on a few points like that one there. Just being able to jump up and put that ball right down the other side of the court.
Torres did the job right there, the other junior captain. She got the point, and now it's their biggest lead of the night. 6 points, 15-9, El Diamante. Warford off the serve, back line. Trying to set up the front now are the Miners, and they set up Schaefer, nicely blocked at the net. Saved there by the Miners, middle of the court. Schaefer sends it back over the net. Here come the Tigers trying to set up their front line. Nope, they sent it on the back out search, on the back line there, and went off of Warford's arm backwards for the point. Service goes back over to Lemoore. They trail by 5, 15-10.
And the Miners doing a good job of keeping this lead, but the Tigers trying to scrap back into it. They don't want this lead to, and there's another point as they're coming back. They don't want that lead to get over 6 or 7, because with this home crowd advantage, I mean, all of a sudden 6, 7, and then 8 points, it can feel like so much to come back from. You just got to focus on 1 point at a time, and I wouldn't be surprised if this lead gets over 6 or so. Coach calls a timeout.
Jessica Taylor gets the ball over on the serve. Right there is Anderson, and she powers it right down the sideline for the point. More importantly, she gets service back for the number 1 seed Miners. They lead at 16-11. Off the serve now. Tigers trying to get it over the net, and they do, and they keep it in. Nice play. Really faked out Roble right there as she let it go, and it stayed in play.
And Jessica McCann there on the kill. Just you don't want to be in front of that ball.
Off the serve now. Jasmine Ochoa sends it over. There goes Anderson, now puts it right in front of number 8 again. Billingsley just not getting there in time. Try to dig that ball out. Another point for the Miners. They lead it 17-12, and they're going to serve as Stevie Johnson will serve the senior. Overhand serve to the back far line. It's up there. Sullivan now to number 6, and they get the point. Jessica Sullivan with a nice shot. So back and forth, both teams now trading serves as the Tigers now have it. Trying to get it in the middle of the court, and it goes right into the net. As that shot was by Patone for the Miners, so service will now go to Lemoore as they trail by 3, 17-14.
And if they can continue to come back, just scrap back 1 point at a time, they're going to be in a good position here late in this first game.
Schaefer try to kill it, cannot. Off again. Nice save by the front line again. Here she goes again for a third time. Now she does it softly to the back line. Saved by the Tigers. They try to get it in the middle of the court. Nice save there. Nice dig. As the ball goes now in the middle of the court, but goes backwards. Looked like Billingsley once again got there in time, but the ball went, instead of forward, went backwards for the point for El Diamante.
So we could probably talk about that last rally there for about 3 or 4 minutes real quick. Schaefer with 3 just overpowering kill attempts, stifled by the opposing side. Just a great job, and then she comes back and it's like throwing a changeup after trying to hit a 100-mile-per-hour pitch 3 times in a row. All of a sudden you're trying to hit a 65-mile-per-hour pitch, and yeah, it's going to drop most of that time.
Patone with the serve. Here she goes, and goes to the back line. Nicely saved. Set up now by the Tigers. Nice block at the net and picked up there. I believe that was Summer Warford with the block, and more importantly, no, they're going to say she touched the net. So point will go to Lemoore, and the Tigers will gain serve. Off the serve now. A little off-balance shot there. Miners had to get over her in 3. They do. 50-50 ball, and it goes put on the other side by Warford that time for the point, and she get the service back for El Diamante.
And the Miners' first team to reach 20 here in this first game. That's almost a victory in itself. You kind of feel like you're right there at the edge. Just 5 more points to pick up this first one.
Kazan now with the service. There comes the setup for Schaefer, and she puts it on the back line. And did that stay in? Yes, it did. Official right there. Nice call. More importantly, excellent kill shot there by Schaefer, John Henry.
And you can tell it wasn't the perfect set. It wasn't right in her wheelhouse, but man, she did a great job of adjusting, putting that one right where it needed to go.
We got our first time out here in game 1. El Diamante, the Miners, lead it 21-15 over the number 2 seed Lemoore Tigers. Right here on Play On Sports, your home for high school sports.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
I'm Thomas Conrail along with John Henry Winter Nolte. We are live from El Diamante Miners High School as we are here for the CIF Central Section Division II Girls Volleyball Final. And off the serve now, the Miners lead it by 6. They get it over the net. Nice shot there by Lemoore. Trying to save it are the Miners, and they won't be able to do it. As that ball came right in our broadcast area.
It gets real quiet real quick when that ball gets close to the computer.
It's a nice shot there. As Lemoore will serve, they trail by. Comes off the serve. Schaefer with a nice kill shot. Great setup there by number 4, Akazan, as she set up Rachel Schaefer nicely as she was right in the middle of the court, John Henry.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder there. There were no Tigers up in front to block Schaefer. She kind of snuck in from the back, really unexpected from the Tiger side, and able to put that one away almost easily.
22-16. The number 1 seed leads at the Miners. Off the serve, they get it over the net, but the Tigers with a great kill shot right on Patone for the point. Give credit there to number 5, Marcy Hamblin, just came in the game. Off the serve again, Patone saves it. Trying to set up, and nice shot there by Caitlin Anderson, where the junior got high up for that kill shot on the back line.
And now at this point, getting really, really late in this first game, the Miners are looking real solid right here. Nothing to talk about as far as improvements go, but the Tigers got to figure out some way to rally back. They cannot afford to exchange points at this point in the game.
Wolford serve goes to the back line, saved by the Tigers. They got to get it over in 3. Let's see if they do. Nice block on the net. Loose ball, trying to get it back outside, and shot too long by number 4, Jessica McCann, the senior.
And you just see the height advantage of the Miners taking over and just being dominant at that net. Tigers had a tough time even getting that ball over the net.
24-17. Wolford with the serve. Front line, nice kill there by the Miners. They get saved. Here comes Lemoore. They shoot right down the line, and nice save and a point for the Tigers is Jessica Taylor, the sophomore, with the shot from the back line.
That was a great shot. We had a good view at that one right up front, and man, she just had a little bit of room to work with, but that's all she needed.
Taylor now will serve as the Miners trying to get it over. They do. Back line now for the Tigers, trying to set up their front, and nice block right there. Give credit to Torres once again. She is a force with the blocks right there. And they win the first game, the El Diamante Miners, 25-18. Boy, John Henry, nice first game right there for El Diamante. They get that key first game win.
Yeah, you mentioned it, 25-18. The Miners getting the first strike, drawing first blood here. And this is going to be tough for Lemoore to be able to to dig out of this one. I mean, you don't want to go down to the number 1 team that first game. It's almost like that momentum. You know, who's going to get the momentum for the rest of the day? Is it going to be the home team who's number 1, or is it going to be the away team, kind of the underdogs coming in? But, you know, you look in the stands and pretty equal amount of fans on each side, but either way, El Diamante coming away with the win in game 1.
And as you mentioned it during your commentary, front line of the Miners really dominated the front court there. How can you combat it if you're Lemoore? What can they do to kind of...
Yeah. I mean, they were doing a great job on Schaefer, getting 2 girls in front right at the net to try to block her, and they were able to do that a couple times. But in this game, you got to start thinking a little more offensively, and they had a few girls who were doing a great job. Jessica McCann, to mention one of them, she's got the ability. She's not quite as tall as the girls on the other side of the court, but she's got that arm that can put that ball down right on the other side of the net, and you've got to utilize whoever's going to do the work for you and give them those opportunities to get you the points.
Yeah, it's so tough when you have a size disadvantage as it is right now with the Miners. Really a tall front line, really dominating. You got to believe maybe you kind of switch it up, maybe try to shoot more over the net from the back line, kind of loosen them up, make them kind of maybe play off the net a little bit, and then you could go for your ace, for your kill shots. Right.
You need to mix things up a little better, because that we saw a couple points ago, the Tigers, like I mentioned, had a tough time just getting the ball over the net, not to mention trying to get a decent shot and put the Miners on the defensive. That's something that cannot happen. I mean, the Miners should not know where that ball's going every time it comes over. Tigers got to do a better job mixing it up, as you mentioned.
Talk about Rachel Schaefer, John Henry. She had a tremendous first game. I mean, every time it looked like they needed a kill, she was right there, and she did it from all areas of the front line.
Yeah, she's pretty impressive, and when you're watching these girls out here, this isn't the first time they've stepped on a volleyball court. I mean, I'm watching them, and it's like unbelievable to see what they can do out there on one side with the defense, and on the other side, getting a couple feet above the net and hitting the ball as hard as they can. It's unbelievable. And Schaefer, as you mentioned, one of those girls that's one of the top in the game that we're watching here tonight.
Yeah, I think if they come down to where we live in San Diego trying to get a beach ball volley game, I think I'll miss that one.
Yeah, I'll take the day off, get a rest.
Get ready now for game 2 here. The Lemoore Tigers will serve. Both teams getting last-minute instructions from their coaches, and also last-minute pep talk from the teammates that are going to be out on the court. Serving for the Tigers will be the captain, Maggie Billingsley. As we get this game underway, nice back line serve. trying to work her way to the front, and nice block up front. And boy, that was a nice shot. And just like John Henry said, Jessica Taylor got involved and put it right back on the Miners for the first point of game 2. Billingsley with the serve, back line. Schaefer saves it. Trying to get it across on the Miners, they do. Played on the front, and Taylor again blocked there by number 10, Johnson. Cross-courts it over on the right side to Jessica McCann, who puts it home.
Such a close shot. I think they actually called that one out of bounds.
Wow.
It's gonna go the other way, but man, such a tough shot to defend against. You've seen her a couple times already put those down the line.
Roble now serves it for the Miners as they get it over the net. Both teams now trying to play 50-50. Great kill shot by Torres. Right on top of, got on top of McCann too quickly for her to dig it out.
And I think what we mentioned at the beginning of the game was both these teams have the tendency to get too excited about scoring points and then too down, a little too emotional up and down. This is the part of the game where Lemoore's got to focus 1 point at a time. Forget about the past. Don't think about the future. Win this point, and all of a sudden you'll hit 25 and you'll win this game.
All right, off the serve now. Tigers send it over the net. Trying to set up Torres, and she was a little soft shot. Played there by Lemoore. Here comes the shot on the sideline by Taylor. Nicely dug out there by Patone. Both teams trading volleys here nicely. Shot from the middle by the Tigers, saved. That was Sullivan. As they set up, Taylor now trying to cross it to McCann, who crosses it over, and it did not stay in bounds. Nice play, just a little bit too hard, and nicely read there by Schaefer, as she avoided that ball at all costs to get that point for the number 1 seed Miners.
And such a great play there by the Tigers. They're moving the ball around to Taylor, McCann, Sullivan, all getting kill attempts, and there's another one there.
What a shot there. Nicely done by number 4, Jessica McCann, the senior. She does she gets the point. More importantly, she'll be doing the serve here as her team trails by 1, 3-2 here in game 2. Back line, try to save it was Patone. It fell in front of her for the ace. Nice shot, or nice serve.
And such a tough serve to defend against. You watch that ball as it kind of knuckles. You're really not sure where it's going to go.
McCann gets it over the net, and it's put in nicely. Soft shot by Akazan right there as Madison gets the point for the El Diamante Miners. More importantly, gets service back as they now lead by 1, 4-3. Just joining us is the CIF Division II Girls Finals. El Diamante Miners taking on the Lemoore Tigers in the game 2. And off of that point, nice again by Lauren Torres, the captain. Got it right in front of the back line there for the point.
Man, and what an athletic play there. She went from being on the defense trying to block, noticed it was a soft shot, composed herself, and just tipped it right back over for her own kill.
Off the service, Johnson out back line. Here come the Tigers trying to set up. A nice shot there by Sullivan. Saved by the Miners over the net. Here comes another setup, this time for Taylor. A little soft shot to the back line. Patone saves it. Over to Torres for the kill and the point. It went off the shoulders of number 6, Jessica Sullivan.
And that's one of those balls that I don't want to be anywhere near as it's coming into your court there. Just a rocket.
Yeah, and it has the equivalent of a Randy Johnson fastball back in his heyday. Here comes the Miners with the serve, and what a kill as they set up nicely. Number 6, and that was Jessica Sullivan, the senior.
And just to be clear here, we've got Jessica Taylor, Jessica McCann, and Jessica Sullivan as kind of the 3 main attackers here for this Tigers team. Maybe we'll just stick with last names from here on out, but geez, what another rocket from the other side of the court.
Off the serve, Schaefer now for the kill, and she does right in front of Sullivan. And the service now will go back over to the Miners. Patone with the serve, and it goes off of the arms of Ochoa and out of bounds for the point. Ochoa, the libero for Lemoore, and the libero serving. as Patone for El Diamante. And there goes a nice shot, nice picked up by Sullivan, goes over the net. Here comes the kill shot, and it's again Schaefer right on that line, perfectly placed, right in front of Billingsley for the point. Timeout on the court by Lemoore. They trail 9-4 on the CIF Division II Girls Volleyball Finals on Play On Sports, your destination for high school sports.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information as well as links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
That's John Henry Winton Nolte. I'm Thomas Conroy. We thank you so much for joining us here on a Thursday night in the CIF Central Division II Volleyball Finals. There goes the serve by the Miners, the number 1 seed. The Tigers, the number 2 seed, trying to get it over the net. Taylor does, and it's going to be a hand on Warford for the point. That one where she kind of guided the ball. I'm not too familiar with that one, but I know that's what they called. Libaro now for El Diamante, trying to get it over the net. Not set up nicely. Off balance was Schaefer trying to get it over the net, could not get it done.
And let's go back a couple points. Coach Rachel Taylor calling the timeout as her team was down by 5. All of a sudden they get 2 quick points. You got to think that's a great timeout by Coach Taylor. And they got to start creeping back into this one and not let Diamante pull away with the second game.
Yeah, she recognizes when her team's kind of losing focus, and she'll call that timeout. Off the serve now, the Miners makes a nice shot right in front of the libero for the point. Ochoa just could not react in time. Nice serve right in the middle of the court by number 4, Madison Akizian. Akizian off the serve. Trying to get it up and nicely blocked at the front line by the Tigers. Combination on Rubel's shot. But the Miners do get it over. Trying to set up number 6, Jessica Sullivan. Here comes a kill shot for Schaefer. Back line over the shoulder of Jessica Taylor. She was hoping that ball would somehow go across the back line and out of play, but it did not. Stayed in for the point. Miners lead at 12-6. Off the service now by the Miners. Tigers trying to send it over. Nicely blocked, put back over by Schaefer. Picked up, and a nice shot by Taylor to the back line. Saved, and this time Sullivan puts it right in front of Schaefer for the point.
Great play there by Jessica Sullivan. Just a smart, she's got the vision. She doesn't only have the physicality to be able to do this, but just being able to see that as you're jumping, as you're trying to hit the ball over. I'm going to put it right where they're not, and it's a great shot.
That's a great call. Off the serve now, both teams trading volleys. Here comes the shot there by number 4, McCann. McCann, they're going to give her the point. They're going to say, are they going to give her the point?
Not sure exactly what they're calling.
I thought I saw a tip by the front line of El Diamante, but they're serving, so it did not. Off that serve, and it goes off the hands of Taylor backwards for the point for the Miners, and they lead it now. Is up to 14-7 as they have doubled the Tigers' points.
And the Tigers here getting a little frustrated, you can tell with themselves, but like we mentioned before, just 1 point at a time. If their coach can instill that within them, they're going to be just fine.
Schaefer with the serve. Here comes the setup now as the ball went over. Nicely blocked there at the line by the Tigers. Crossover shot and trying to get saved, and Ochoa could not get it as the ball ricocheted off the harness of the backboard for basketball here, and the point goes to El Diamante, as that point was by Madison Akizian. Off the serve now, both teams trading volleys. Front line set up there, and they're going to say
double touch, I believe.
Yes, you're right. And that one was called on Akizian. Ochoa, the libero now, will serve. Nice back line to Patone. Dug it out nicely. Ball blocked 50-50 at the net, and it went over onto El Diamante's side for the point now. Quickly 15-9 for Lemoore Tigers.
And they've got to keep this run going, get a few more points and cut this lead down because 6 is too much of a gap.
Ochoa with a nice serve as Patone tried to send it up to the front line. They put it right on the net for another point for the number 2 seed Tigers. So
now,
again, they grabbed 2 quick points, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, Ochoa doing a good job serving, just getting that ball over the net and giving your teammates a chance. And now another point, 4 points in a row as the Tigers are starting to creep back. I think the Miners are starting to sweat a little bit as they're not liking where this game's going.
Larson and Jessica McCann with the block there on the net. Off the serve. Here come the Miners now. Nice shot, nice kill shot. As that was, I believe, I think that was number 8 on that Summer Warford. The ball came right towards us, so I missed that number. I think it was Warford on that kill shot.
And either way, a good job by the Miners to stop that little run there by the Tigers, because a run like that can take you all the way through the game.
50-50 ball, and Torres wins it as he puts it on the other side of the net. Miners get the point. They lead it now 17-11.
And Torres, again, she's so fun to watch. She's got the height, she's got the extensions, and she's able to get up there and not only play defense, but able to move the ball as she's blocking it on the offensive.
McCann with a soft kill right there. Went right off the fingertips of number 8 Warford for the point.
Maggie Billingsley now needs to get this team rolling, and she does with that knuckle serve. We've mentioned the knuckle serve so many times, and sometimes it creeps up and it'll hit too high on your arm. Sometimes it'll dip right at the last second. It's so hard to defend.
Yeah, and right there, Schaefer again had trouble kind of recognizing what type of shot to use. Here come the Tigers. They got to get over in 3, and Choa does. Nice play. Patone saves it for the front line. Trying to get a kill on the back line. Anderson does, right in front of Sullivan for the point.
And this El Diamante Miners team starting to reach that 20 mark again. And once you hit 20, you get a little momentum, and it feels like it's kind of downhill. Tigers got to limit that 20, and they can't quite do it there.
Jessica McCann with an excellent shot, excellent setup for the kill. Hits it right off the net. Another point for the Miners. They lead it 19-13. Off the serve, Ochoa, nice dig, but can't keep it in. Another point now as the Miners have gotten 3 in a row. Coach Rachel Taylor of the Lemoore Tigers will call a timeout. Her team trails by 7, 20-13 in Game 2 on PlayOnSports.com.
Play On Sports is not only your destination for Thursday night volleyball action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from all across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Yeah, we want to thank John Henry and myself. We came up from San Diego, the southern area, and I've really enjoyed our 2 weekends up here. Really nice people. All the schools, they've been really very helpful in our two weekends up here.
Exactly. I mean, last weekend I was actually up in Anderson Valley, about 2 hours north of San Francisco and Oakland area, north of wine country. And man, what a beautiful place that was. And now we're here tonight in Visalia. Who of all places, who would have thunk, Visalia division, big game tonight, championship game. And man, who would have known this was going on tonight?
Tigers get the point right there. Nice kill there by Jessica McCann for the point. Sullivan will now serve for the Tigers as they trail by 6, 20-14 in Game 2. Off the serve, nice dig out by Patone, the Labaro, but cannot save it as it goes out of bounds. Point goes to the Tigers. They get those 2 points and then really fast, and I'll see if they get that third one. Off the serve, nicely dug out by Patone again. Torres sends it over the net. Played here. Here comes the shot by Sullivan. Did she keep it in?
And I believe they called it out. It's going to go back to El Diamante for the serve and the point. And that's a tough one. I mean, she's been so money on that shot all day. Right in the corner, right up the line, but they're just barely missing. And that's a big turning point as the point goes the other way.
Very frustrating. There goes now the serve. Tigers send it back over the net. Trying to get it over in 3. Cannot. Patone hits it right in the middle of the net. Point and serve goes back over to Lemoore Tigers. They trail now 21-16.
And they've been able to get 2 and 3 points in a row. And that's not going to cut it here. They're going to need 5 or 6 to cut this lead, and that's a great start for them there.
Emma Larson with a nice serve, that knuckle serve that John Henry's been talking about. That time, not playing it well was Patone. She let it go, and it fell in. Here comes the serve again. Patone does play it this time, trying to set it up Torres. Schaefer takes it, and it is blocked on, not blocked, it goes out of bounds as a nice kill shot there by number 9, Rachel Schaefer, the junior.
And Taylor able to, like you said, block it. It just went just out of bounds. Another tough break. These points are just so tough for this Tigers team.
Both teams serving. We get a whistle, and didn't see what the call was there, but they're going to award the point to El Diamante as they lead it now 23-17, 2 points away from victory here in game 2. Off the serve, it goes right into, as the shot goes right into the official for the point. Kristen Drew shot it off the serve, and 1 point away now. Game point here. Off the serve, nice dig out by Drew, but does not stay in. Game number 2 goes to the Miners. They win it 25-17.
And definitely not, I mean, it's 2-0 right now, but don't count out the Lemoore Tigers. This team run by Coach Rachel Taylor. I mean, they've got the talent. They just, I mean, we talked about what they need to do to win this game, or this match, excuse me. They need to win games too, but it's the focus. It's the 1 point at a time. They've lost both these games by very close margins, 17-25 and 18-25. They're just that one extra level away from taking this third game. That's exactly what they need to do.
And what's frustrating is they just can't get that little break. You know, it seems like, as we said, they get those first 2 points, John Henry.
Yep.
But they can't continue it out to maybe 3 or 4 points to get themselves really back into the game, and that's been the frustrating part for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's just that one extra step that they need to take. And El Diamante Miners, they're there. I mean, they're at one level just playing this game. They're the number 1 seed. They're at home. They've got the cheerleaders here. They got the home crowd, and you know, they've got everything going their way. And they're playing like it. On the other side of the court, Lemoore Tigers they're not playing poorly by any means. They're right in this. It's just that extra step, that little something extra, like a player like Schaefer is able to bring to the Miners. They need someone to step up for the Tigers, or else we're gonna be out of here pretty soon.
And if you're Coach Sorensen, you stretch to your team, John Henry. Hey, end this quickly. We don't want this team to get any added confidence, right?
Hey, as soon as you get any kind of momentum, you can feed off that, and all of a sudden it's 2-2. So this Lemoore Tigers team is looking for that. And like you just mentioned, the Miners, they don't want to go to game 4, because if it's game 4, now all of a sudden you've lost the momentum. They want to finish it here while they've got the momentum. They've got things going their way, and they can do it. We know that.
Off camera, the Green Man group is here. Way on the far side, you can see them. Must be a distant relative of the Blue Man group from Vegas.
I love it. I mean, pulling out all the stops for this championship game here, and it's great. I mean, this is a game that's going on in this gym, and we've got everything going. All the aspects are there of a great sporting event, and that's what we're trying to bring to you today. I will mention, tomorrow we're going to be doing some water polo. Excuse me, some football tomorrow, Friday night football. And then Saturday we'll be heading over to water polo. And, oh my goodness, I mean, if it's anything like this or even less than this, it's going to be such an exciting time, and so many people are going to be enjoying this, not to mention the players who are just playing. They're leaving everything on the court this weekend.
All right, we're ready to go here in game number 3. The El Diamante Miners now will serve. And it'll be Summer Warford, one of their top servers here. Will get it going. They have a 92% service percentage on the season, so they're very good at keeping the ball in play. Waiting for that last moment. Now the officials looking over. We get the whistle, and we're ready to go. And Warford shot, back line, Ochoa saves it. Up front now as Lemoore trying to get it over the net. Nicely dug out there by the Miners. Backline shot, Ochoa again with a great save, Lemoore. Front line sent over the net by Drew. Back over the net by the Miners. Nice dug out there by number 3, Taylor. Over the net. Here comes Schaefer, back line. Nicely again dug out by Sullivan. Little spirit here as they get the ball over the net. Trying to set up Torres. Shot back line. And the point goes in for El Diamante. They get the first one in game 3.
And I think both teams understood the importance of that point. If you get the momentum early here in the third game and you're already up 2 games, that's an easy finish downhill for the Miners. And for the Tigers, they've got a long uphill battle in front of them, and every point counts, especially that first one. They don't want to go behind too far.
Back line now. The Miners trying to get it up front. They do. Nice kill by Anderson, dug out by the Tigers, and put over the net for the point. Oh, what a sweet hook shot there by Jessica Taylor for the point.
Wrong sport there, Tante. But yes, I mean, that was a beautiful shot. We've seen so many girls get up there and hit it as hard as they can right into the blocking defenders, but that one, another smart hook shot, we'll call it, for the point.
Schaefer puts it over the net. Cross court it now. Nice dug out there by Patone. Front line, putting it back on Anderson. Dug out again by the Tigers. They're playing very spirited. Nicely put over the net. There goes the ball over by the Miners as they save it. Billingsley trying to set up Sullivan, and she does for the point. Kill shot, but they're going to say it's out. Yeah. I just saw it. It's the back judge on the far corner. He called it.
And another tough call. Jessica Sullivan, who's been so money going down that line. I mean, she's got 3 or 4 points, just killing that ball right down the line, and a couple really tight calls. And the visiting team, was not too happy about that last call.
The off the serve, ball bounces off of Drew and Billingsley for the point. Quick 3-1 lead for the Miners. They have the serve as they come up. And a nice serve there by Robo. Tigers put it over the net. They're trying to set up Anderson. They do in the middle, and nobody can get to it. Nice little soft shot there by Caitlin Anderson, the junior, for the point.
And sometimes when things are going your way, things are really going your way. And when that shot opens up, and when the previous couple calls called for out of bounds, when it's a real close call, that makes it easier for you to rack up some quick points, as we're seeing the Miners do here.
Jamie Robo, the senior, getting on a roll here. 5-1, the Miners lead it. Off her serve, back line, and it went off the hands of Taylor. She was indecisive right there, John Henry. She wanted to let it go, and then the last second put her hand out and then deflected off.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you try to defend against that knuckle shot, as we've been talking about. That one looks like it was going out, and then it looked like it was going in, and then who knows where it was going to go, but just the indecisive, tough play.
Billingsley now sends it across court to Sullivan, who goes off of Schaefer's hands out of bounds as it went backwards. Nice philosophy on that shot there by Jessica Sullivan, the senior. Got the point. More importantly, the serve goes back to the Lemoore Tigers.
And it seems like the Tigers are trying to target Jessica Sullivan a little more and give her the opportunities for those kills on that far side, which have mainly been going well for them. That's a big success of theirs, but they got to spread it out a little more.
And off the serve right there, Jessica McCann gets the ace. Oh no, out of bounds, my fault. So serve goes back over to the Miners. Tough to see on that far side for us. We've got to rely on the referees. Stevie Johnson with the serve now for the Miners. 50-50 ball put back on the other side by Lauren Torres. Another point for the Miners. They lead it now 7-3 over the Lemoore Tigers here in game 3.
And that one, it looks like, I think it actually fell on the near side of the net, kind of squeaked in there. So it is going to be a point going the other way. But unless Schaefer has something to say about it, of course.
Set up beautifully on the front line, and Rachel Schaefer with another point and another kill.
Well, we'll do our best to get you those stats post-game, but man, Schaefer is just a force to be reckoned with here in every one of these games.
Patone with the serve. It goes a little bit far, and it goes right back over the Tigers on the serve. They trail by 4, 8-4. Schaefer again with the kill, right in front of Sullivan for the point. Just boy, that shot is just too hard. You cannot get any type of, be prepared to make a shot back over the net.
And
that comes on you too fast.
Yeah, the only defense for that is getting 2 or 4 hands up in her face, and they're really not doing that at the moment. The Tigers got to do a better job of limiting Schaefer and not letting her have those free shots. You got to contest those.
Off the shot by the Tigers, it goes off of Stevie Johnson and deflects near the Miners bench for the point. 9-5 now. Lemoore trails, but more importantly, they have the serve. As Sullivan will serve for the Tigers. Over the net, Patone trying to leave it up for the front. Schaefer with the kill on the back line, and she does. That time they did get a hand on it. I believe Hamlin tried to get a hand, and it just deflected away.
And you see on the near side, Diamante moving that ball around, giving Jamie Rubel a chance, and she capitalizes.
Schaefer with the ace, falls right in front of Hamlin again, and it'll be a point. 11-5, Miners lead it. Quick timeout here by Lemoore Tigers, trying to slow down this momentum here in Game 3 on PlayOnSports.com's presentation of the CIF Central Division II Girls Volleyball Final.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups, like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
That was John Henry Winter Nolte. I'm Thomas Conroy. We're here for Play On Sports, the CIF Central Division Section 2 Volleyball Finals here on Play On Sports. We thank you so much for joining us. Rachel Schaefer now will serve for the Miners. She's been one of the top players here as she gets ready to serve. Back line it goes. Tigers trying to set up Taylor, and the ball is blocked at the front. And service will go back as that ball did not go over the net. Attempted there was Anderson and Rubel, but they just could not get it over the net. Off the serve now. Miners trying to get it back line. Taylor goes off the ceiling and cannot react in time with Hamlin as it fell in front of her. That ball came off the ceiling awfully fast. Tough to react to that type of a shot.
And that's a tough one. If you look back at the last few paces that ball came from, we'll go to Rubel's hand as she just pounded that one straight down. Really nothing else you could do. Just try to get it straight up, and it went right into the ceiling, unfortunately.
Well, for a serve now. Goes over the net, trying to get it back over, but put in nicely on the block there by Rubel for the point. And they're going to say it fell on the Miners side, so the Tigers will get the point. Off the serve now. Nicely put in there by number 4. Akizan for the point. Akizan. Madison. 13-7, El Diamante. Rubel now, backline serve. Billingsley making a save. They get it over the net. Play in front on the front line. Torres trying to get it over the net. Cannot. And, ball was blocked by Lemoore, and it was out of bounds. So the point and the serve will go to the number 1 seed Miners. 14-7, they lead it. Here comes Rubel, who got off to that big start here in Game 3 with the 5-point service. Backline, Patone trying to save it, cannot. Nice shot there by number 5. That's a Hamlin for the Tigers, who put it over the net.
And another smart shot we see. I know we've kind of been pointing those out. The kills are something fun to watch, but sometimes even more effective is a deep shot like that, where you get the defense kind of going on their heels and moving backwards.
The senior McCann puts the serve right in front of Schaefer. She deflects it out of bounds. Ace will go to the Tigers as they get another point.
And we'll keep preaching it, but 1 point at a time. If they're able to do it, the Tigers will be able to come back.
Cross shot there by Anderson. Did it stay in? No, it's long. Another point for the Tigers. This is where they get the two quick. Let's see if they can add on here.
Yeah, they were just down by 7, so this is a big run for them. So they'll only be down 4.
Off the serve, it goes off the top of the net. 50-50 ball. Patone could not get it over as it fell on the side of the Miners. So another point for Lemoore. The number 2 seed creeping back. They only trail by 3.
Little 4-point run. That's exactly what they need.
Nice setup for Anderson, cross court as he put it on, deflected off the front line of the Tigers for the point. So momentum is stalled there by the number 1 seed Miners. They lead it now 15-11 with Stevie Johnson serving. Johnson bouncing it a few times, now sends it over the net. Back corner, nice shot there by Sullivan. Schaefer gets set up, back line nicely dug out by the Tigers. Trying to get off the back line, and it goes off the arm of Kalina Escobar, the junior. Point and serve now will go back over to Lemoore. They trail by 3. Drew with the serve in front of Schaefer. She gets set up, nicely dug out there by Taylor. Trying to set up Sullivan, can't, as he tried to cross it, it hits off the net. And it goes rolling back onto the side of the Tigers. 16-12. El Diamante leads. And they got the serve as Bianca Patone will serve for them.
And Taylor doing a good job of digging that first shot by Schaefer, and just a little unforced there. A couple hits later.
Oh, nice kill shot by Jessica Sullivan. As he crossed it, went off of the arm of Roble, I believe, for the point. She's going to serve now, Sullivan. Middle court. Schaefer going to try to set up the front line. Sent over by Patone. Front line setting up, and nice little soft shot there by number 12, Morgan Lambert, the senior.
And another smart shot. We'll preach it all night. We love the smart shots, and it's going to force the home team, El Diamante, to take their first timeout of the afternoon. Coach Leslie Sorensen maybe she's starting to sweat a little as the guests, a little bit of momentum shift, and more importantly, it's only a 2-point game now.
16-14, El Diamante leads Lemoore here. It is the CIF Central Division II Girls Volleyball Finals right here on Play On Sports, your destination for high school sports.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information as well as links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/playonnetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
Jessica Sullivan with the serve for the Tigers. She gets it over nicely, 50-50 ball at the net, and it is won by the Tigers. We got a ball game now, John Henry. 1-point lead for the Miners, the number 1 seed. They led by as many as 7 here in game 3. They now lead at 16-15.
Tigers doing a great job of just playing their game and keeping the pressure on every point.
Schaefer with the kill, sent back over the net. Nicely played by the Tigers. Soft shot by Schaefer, nicely dug out. They got to get it over in 3. Cannot! As Lemoore hits it right off the middle of the net. Great effort there, but Jessica McCann off balance, just couldn't get it over the net.
And the Tigers doing a great job. If they're going to lose a point, they're going to leave it all out. There were girls on the ground. There were girls out of position, and unfortunately it didn't fall for them, but they're still working their butts off out there.
Kazan now with the serve, and a nice one. Ace right in front of Sullivan.
Miners doing a good job of keeping the lead, whether it's 1 or 7. It's currently 3. Man, talk about putting the pressure on. They're doing a great job of being consistent.
Akazan with the serve. Tigers send it back over. Trying to set up Schaefer. Back line. Nicely dug out by Lemoore. Trying to get it over the net. They cannot. A little miscommunication on the front line as the ball goes into the net. 19-15. 3 straight points now for the Miners as they now up their lead back up to 2. Off the serve. Back line now. Billingsley trying to set up. Block there. Schaefer trying to get on the back line. Wow. Cannot. No. It is a point.
Wow.
Wow. It looked like it was right near the line, but it kept in. Great play there by Schaefer.
And Schaefer, talk about making something out of nothing. That was we can call it a broken play, almost a free ball. I thought it was coming over. All of a sudden she comes up and says, oh, there's an open spot on the court. I'll finish that one.
Blocked at the net now by the Miners. Nicely saved there by the Tigers, and a backline shot. Good play there by Jessica Taylor, the sophomore, for the point.
Taylor with authority on that shot. Trying to make a statement. It was almost like she was trying to score all 3 or 4 points with that shot.
4-point lead as they cut the momentum. Served now by the Tigers. Goes over. Schaefer puts it towards the net. We're going to get a whistle. Looks like it was a two-hand shot. Hit double there. And the serve will go back over to the Miners. Schaefer will serve.
We've talked about that magic 20. Once you hit 20, it's kind of downhill from there. Not in this third game. I don't think that's the case. They're going to have to work for every one of these last points.
21-16. Ball goes over the net. Schaefer sets up the front line. Robo gets shot blocked, but it stays in on the Tigers side. They have nobody there to dig it out. 22-16 Miners. Another timeout by Coach Rachel Taylor. John Henry will keep it here. Quickly, what do you think this timeout's about here with the score 22-16?
Well, you hear the fans, the home team crowd starting to chant, nana, nana, hey, hey, goodbye. And that's what this coach wants to let her girls know. Rachel Taylor, just letting them know, this is why we played at 25. The game's not over. You guys are right there. We've lost the first game by 8. It was 18. And the second game, it was super close. And now we're trying to get the video back up here. 1 second. But either way, 1 point at a time. And that's been the story of the year for them, being consistent. And there we go, the video's back up.
We're back on.
We're quick on that. Anyway, Coach Taylor, I think, just trying to instill that confidence and let her girls know that, hey, you can still win this if you want it.
Rachel Schaefer now with the serve. Nicely dug out there by the Tigers. Front line as Taylor puts it right on top of Dunkel for the point. Big point right there by Jessica Taylor.
And out of a timeout as a coach, you like to see your team score a point. It means you said the right things. So see if they can keep it up here.
The captain Billingsley serves it. Nice setup there by Anderson. She doesn't get the point as it hits the net. Another point now, 4-point lead for the Miners as the Tigers get too quickly back. Billingsley off the serve, front line. Nicely set up. Here comes Anderson again. Good kill shot. Yeah, right off the arms of Jessica Sullivan. That's too hard. You set up Anderson like that, her kill will come on top of you awfully fast. No reaction time. 23-18 Miners.
I love it. Coach Sorensen, she was yelling at her girls, letting them know something. But either way, that intensity coming from the coach, even though you've got a huge lead, that's huge coming in. 2 extra points, that's all you need to finish this one out. And coach is still into it 100%.
Both teams trades the ball over the net now. Anderson trying to get it to the back line. She does. Billingsley trying to set up number 10, Drew, but blocked there nicely by the Miners. Drew now trying to get it over to Taylor, and she's trying to get it over the front line of the Miners. Cannot. Hits the net, stays on her side. 24-18. This is match point, championship point, as Katie Reeves, the senior, will serve. Back line. Tigers trying to set up their front line. They get it over the net. Here comes the setup for Anderson. Nicely blocked there. Good dig out by the Miners. Anderson now trying to get it over the net. She does for the point. Nobody was there. 25-18. El Diamante Miners are your Division II CIF Central champions. Wow, what a shot. Just kind of a misdirection, John Henry, for the point.
And talk about a smart shot. Again, we've said it all day. Sometimes it's the kill that gets you the point, and sometimes it's that cross-court shot into open court. Smart vision. Great job all around by the El Diamante Miners here at home. The number 1 seed picking up the championship in the Central Section Division II CIF.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stay on PlayOnSports.com for our postgame show. We'll wrap all the action on our postgame show. We'll have an interview with our player of the game. That's coming up in a few moments. Once again, the El Diamante Miners have defeated the Lemoore Tigers 3-0 in the CIF Division II Girls Volleyball Final here on Play On Sports, your destination for high school sports. We'll be back right after the awards presentation with our postgame show.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Welcome back to the Play On Sports coverage of the CIF D2 Girls Volleyball Finals. I'm joined by our player of the game, Rachel Schaefer of the Diamante Miners. First of all, congratulations on your championship.
Thank you.
And tell us, you really dominated that first game. What was your feeling when you came on the court to start the game?
We were really confident. I mean, we had something to prove to Lemoore from the last time we played them, and we just really wanted to win.
This seems like you guys play very evenly in the regular season. What was the feeling coming into this game? You sound like you really wanted to make a statement here in this finals game.
I mean, we were all a little nervous because, I mean, Lemoore's a really good team, and you have to be nervous to play a good team, but we definitely came out and we brought it all, so.
It seemed like you guys, every time they try to get back into the game, you guys would come up with a great kill and then really take over with your serve.
Yeah.
You brought some of your friends over. Talk about how do you always break momentum? What were you saying on the field?
It was definitely like a don't get down. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna get points. You just have to bring it back.
And how are you gonna celebrate tonight?
I don't even know. It doesn't feel real yet.
We'll let you go back to your team and celebrate this great victory. Congratulations on a D2 title.
Thank you.
I'm Thomas Conroy right here on PlayOnSports.com. We're our player of the game. We'll be right back to wrap this up on the Play On Sports post-game show.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Back here on the Play On Sports post-game show, wrapping it up here with John Henry Winter Nolte. I'm Thomas Conroy. We thank you so much for tuning in. John Henry, let's quickly surmise what we've seen tonight. It seemed like there was a purpose by this Miners team to the Tigers, and they really answered it well.
Yeah, we saw a game today. It was the number 1 team versus the number 2 team. It was on the number 1 team's court. It just seemed like every ball that was either close or could have gone either way, it all went for the home team. The number 1 seed, El Diamante, this evening just rolling in 3-0 over, we can almost say their arch rival. They met 2 times this year already, but in the rubber match this year, it was El Diamante.
Quickly, talk about that front line play. We mentioned it during the match. They just seemed to take control of this game, and every time the Tigers, Lemoore, came back a little bit, that front line said, no, no, no. Talk about that front line, and just how well they played.
Well, I mean, physically, the Tigers were just a little smaller. I would say if we were to line everybody up, there's a couple inches difference here and there. And then you have someone like Schaefer on your team. How do you stop that? They tried kind of letting her hit and backing up and having a couple extra girls try to dig her shots. They tried having 1 and 2 girls up to block her shots, and nothing was working. So that kind of seemed like the difference there on the offensive side for El Diamante. For the other side, they couldn't get past the blocks of El Diamante. They had 3 girls who were just a little taller, and there was just too many hands up in the air.
Quickly, your coach Taylor on the losing side. You're in that locker room. You can feel the disappointment. We've all been there. How do you get them to kind of get back to reality?
They might think that this is the worst game ever because they lost. I don't think that they had too many mistakes, honestly. They got beat by a team that was probably a little better than them, and that's okay. You don't ask your team to go out and get the W. You ask them to play their best, to do what they've done all season. Don't change anything. Have fun out there, obviously. we looked over dozens of times, and those girls are smiling, laughing. There's a couple of seniors on that team who won't be with them next year. This is their last game. Of course you want to win, but in the grand scheme of things, you're out there with your team, giving your all, leaving it on the court. In the championship game, there's more successes than failures this year.
All right, that will do it here from El Diamante High School. I want to thank John Henry Winternolte. He did double duty tonight. He was our producer as well, so we thank you so much. We also want to thank our videographer, Jordan S. Wine here, who's done an excellent job. He also did double duty, did some cross country here in the central area, so we thank him for coming out tonight. And most of all, we want to thank you for tuning in. Again, the final score, 3-0. The El Diamante Miners have defeated the Lemoore Tigers for the CIF Central D2 Girls Volleyball Championship. Good night.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.